Keeping you informed. This is In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of In.form here on 101 Country, WBDC and 18 WJTS. I'm Caitlin Nykum, and today we're going to talk about the act of giving with none other than the Dubois County Community Foundation. We've got Clayton Boyles in the studio with us today. How are you doing, Clayton?
Well, thanks for having me in, Caitlin.
And, you know, we haven't talked with you maybe for a little bit. You guys have been busy, you know, giving back to the community and all of the things that the Dubois County Community Foundation does. However, you being the executive director, I kind of want to step back a little bit and give a little bit of an overview of what the Community Foundation does, maybe what your role is with the Community Foundation, so that people remember why we have a fantastic community here, because you guys do a lot behind the scenes.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So Dubois County Community Foundation, in the state of Indiana, we're blessed to have a community foundation in every county. And so of 92 counties, we have about 93, 94 community foundations. Dubois County being in our county. We were founded in 1996, and so coming up next year in 26, we're going to be celebrating our 30th anniversary. When it comes to a community foundation, we're a nonprofit organization, just like the nonprofit organizations that we serve. Our goal is to make grants to nonprofit organizations doing good work in our community. Sometimes that's government entities, libraries, schools, churches. But the way that we are able to build grants is by building endowments. And an endowment is a perpetual financial resource that donors, members of our community who have passionate causes that they care about, will work with the Community Foundation to build an endowment that has the ability to be invested, the dollars be invested, and then we protect that investment. We live off of the interest of that investment, and that's what goes out in the form of a grant. And so whether you have a preschool program that you love in the community, or a church, or a animal serving organization, whatever it may be that you have passionate for, you can build a long-term perpetual resource known as an endowment that will protect that organization and create some sustainability for them for generations to come.
Absolutely. And if you have not been on the Dubois County Community Foundation's website yet, you definitely should. It's dccommunityfoundation.org. And if you go on the endowments tab there, A to Z, you guys have so many different endowments. So, Clayton, for those who have maybe thought about, you know, what they might leave behind end of life, or, you know, just something that they really want to give, what kind of endowments do you guys kind of see? Because you see the gambit of things, right?
For sure. Well, you know, being in a community that has about 40,000 in population, everyone has different passions, which is great because you have just a plethora of different passions in community. Not everyone loves dogs and cats. Not everyone loves a historic building. Not everyone loves a youth program. But collectively, a lot of those things are covered by donors' passions. And so when you see our endowments, which is over 525, I believe.
Wow.
They're named after individuals, they're named after companies, they're named after the organizations that we're building an endowment for. But as you said, it runs the gamut of what is going on in our community. And so you see endowments that support churches and government programs that are important to people, libraries, schools, youth programs, whatever it might be. Some funds are what we call designated funds. Where you have just one or two, maybe three organizations that you've named that will continually forever get a grant from the endowment that you help establish. Other funds are unrestricted, which means that we as a community foundation have a grants committee that allows for applications to come in from nonprofit organizations. Our grants committee, made up of about 7 volunteers throughout the community, will vet those applications and send out grants to community. What I love about unrestricted funding, and really what we dub as the fund for Dubois County, it's such a special and important asset for our community because we don't know what the needs of our community are going to be in 25 or 50 years. To have flexible dollars to be able to address the ever-changing, pressing needs of our community, we have to have flexible, unrestricted dollars in order to do that. And so the donors who have partnered with us to help build up the Fund for Dubois County, I would call visionaries. I would call people who care broadly about this community understand that there's always going to be changing needs. And so for the ability for them to be able to give a gift and trust the community foundation to be able to utilize them in the best way possible is such a compliment to the work that we're doing.
Most definitely. And again, just planting that seed that can grow into whatever the possibility of the future might bring is such a special and endearing feeling that hopefully more people continue to kind of take part in. Clayton, I'd like to ask, because again, you guys do a lot of works behind the scenes. Of course, we hear about you every now and again in the news. However, you guys are busy doing all of this work around the area. Will you give us a little bit of maybe give us some examples of some various projects that we could see here in the public that have like the Dubois County Community Foundation stamp on it? And then I know you want to also mention some of the bigger initiatives that you guys have going on at the current moment too.
Sure. Happy to do that. Well, really, any nonprofit organization in our community that you can think of, there's probably a good chance that at least a donor worked with the Community Foundation to help establish an endowment. And if you're familiar with an organization in our community that you're involved in and there isn't an endowment, I would encourage you to think about what that looks like for long-term sustainability for your organization. But locally, I'll give a quick example. It's something that's a little behind the scenes, if you will. Market Street Park in Huntingburg, beautiful area. City of Huntingburg and committees and volunteers and a lot of donors put a lot of dollars into 4th Street, into Market Street Park, and it's a really great place. There was an older home right next to Market Street Park, and it was at a place where, past maybe some repair, but it was so close to the park that a group of donors gave some dollars, gave to the Community Foundation. We were able to purchase that building. We had it taken down, and we gifted that building, I guess that property, to the city of Huntingburg to extend the footprint of Market Street Park. That's not something that every organization can do. We have the flexibility to work with donors, to work with city government, to work with other nonprofits, to be able to do those types of projects. And so we don't have the red tape that maybe some entities do. We are autonomous in all things. We're governed by a local group of a committed volunteer board members. So we're a completely independent organization, which gives us ability to be able to be flexible. You talked about some of the initiatives that we've worked on. In the last about 5 years, we've had a lot of work in the mental health and substance abuse work, like Life Spring with Hope Center, Next Step Recovery Home, the first men's home in our community, Dove Recovery House for Women, first women's home in our community. All things that we've had a lot to do with, but so has our donors, which, it's the chicken or the egg, which one comes first. Obviously, we are able to do some extraordinary work, but it's because of the donors that have trusted the Community Foundation to be able to make the changes in community that we used to seek. Caitlin, now in 2025, we've been working on some things behind the scenes, and it will continue to be more public as we make more progress and on. But early learning and childhood education is such an important thing in our community that is, when I talk to employers, when I talk to big groups, we talk about housing, we talk about workforce, and we talk about childcare and early learning. And so while the Community Foundation and philanthropy can probably play a role in all three of those areas, we think that one of the biggest things that we can maybe make some big strides on and some impact is that early learning and childcare. And so we have a local coalition made up of early learning and childcare providers who are working with our team at the Community Foundation to think through and strategize how we can continue to make quality childcare seats in our community. It's not just about quantity. We have to be able to have quality seats to where our kids are ready to go. Obviously a safe, nurturing spot, but also one that is preparing them for pre-K kindergarten. And so a lot of strives there. And so in 26 and beyond, I look forward to coming back and hopefully giving you some updates on what we're doing in the early learning and childcare space.
Most certainly. And, I was in the same vein of childcare or thinking about children and families. One of the big things that I always see with the community foundations kind of stamp on it here publicly that people may or may not think of when they're busy with their kids is, you guys have an endowment that helps upgrade the local parks around here, too. And that is a special thing, too, even for the kids who need a little bit of play along the way, too.
Yeah, it's a great point. I'm glad you brought it up. So you said earlier about going on our website, looking at endowments and possibly doing something. When it comes to giving, people can give now.
Right.
Which, and we can highlight that here too. And in November, December, year-end giving is probably one of the most popular times that people make gifts. And people give now. They give with check. They give with appreciated stock. They give all types of different ways. But another way that individuals give is through what we call a planned gift. And it may sound complicated, but if you just look at the two words, planned gift, you are making a plan to make a gift in the future. Mm-hmm. It could be next year. It could be after life. And so highlighting the fund that you're describing as far as some of the local parks and some dollars, this C.J. Galehausen endowment was established in about 10 years ago by a local man who left a gift to the community foundation in his will, in his estate plan. And I think he grew up in an area where there wasn't a playground very close to his home. And he felt that it was really important to be able to provide kids with places to play. And so the C.J. Galehausen Endowment provides dollars every year for local Dubois County towns and communities that are unincorporated. That was really important to him because, those that have a tax base, there's ability to make parks and playgrounds. But in the unincorporated ones where there isn't, the dollars are just not there. And so we have done, I think, close to 7 new or revitalized playgrounds. And along with that, there's maintenance grant dollars that go back to those each year to make them look nice and upgrades and things like that. And so it was a man's vision years ago that is now still being played out even past his lifetime, giving back to community and making a difference in kids' lives and communities' lives by these parks and playgrounds that he dreamed up and is now reality. So we're very fortunate and very blessed and I think humbled and privileged to be able to say that we are able to administer his wishes now and into the future.
Most definitely. And again, I think the Galehausen Fund is also a great example of, how unique these endowments can be. Yes,
Yeah.
you can include an organization, you can include a different entity, you can include a historic building, or you can include just, add more playgrounds or, maintain them. The flexibility and capabilities there are kind of, I wouldn't say limitless, but we do try to go for as far as we can reach and then some, I'd imagine, with the Community Foundation too. And that kind of, again, brings us back to the season of giving. I'd love to ask you, how easy is it to give? How easy is it to maybe, if people would like to learn more information about establishing their very own endowment, how easy is the process for you guys?
Sure, great question. Well, multiple ways that people can make a gift. As you mentioned earlier, you can go onto our website at dccommunityfoundation.org. There's online ways to give. There's also instructions on how to make a gift. You can write a check and send to our P.O. Box 269. The easiest thing to do is just pick up the phone and make a phone call. We've got a great team. Quickly to highlight, Christy Hof is our donor relations manager. Will be a great resource for you to reach out to. Kevin Smith's our director of grant making. He's the one that can give grants out, playgrounds and children's programs. He's got a great job. It's really cool to be able to have, especially around these times of the year, to spread out joy. And he's also administering our scholarship program. Andrea Tullier is our office administrator. Nicole Lampert is our director of community development and communications. Tanner Egbert is our finance manager. And then myself, I am the director. I spend a lot of my time with donors, individuals who care about this community and work there. As far as making a gift, I would call. Ask for me, ask for Christy. If neither of us are there, any of our team is awesome and very capable of being able to direct you in the way you want to go. And I always say that the conversation's free. Come on in. Would love to explore with you what matters to you. Where are your passions? What was your life upbringing, and how has that affected your life? And where has philanthropy played a role? Whether you were a recipient of philanthropy or you helped make philanthropy happen. We have a place to have a conversation and think about what it might look like for you and your family.
Right. And I would imagine those same type of questions also get presented when those are considering, establishing an endowment, again, whether it's for an organization or for maybe a personal use or whatnot. I imagine those same questions kind of get considered too.
Absolutely. If you're listening or you see this later, I think that the biggest question is what do you want your name and legacy to be? And we're all on this earth for a temporary time. This community will go beyond us. And so being able to leave things for this community, for future generations to be able to thrive with, I think is such an important thing. So what are you passionate about? What do you want to ensure in this community is always here for your kids, for your grandkids, for your great-great-grandkids? Who and what do you want to always be here to see? So the conversation is pretty simple. As far as setting up a fund, we just explore with each other who we are and what we do, match it up with your passions and interests, and we can build a fund pretty quick. It also can go really slow, and it's really at the pace that the donor wishes to do. We don't have a fast-paced environment to where we have to get something done immediately, but if that's a need that you have, we certainly can go quick too.
That is good to know as well. Everyone has a different modality these days, so whatever works best for each individual is something to keep in mind as well. Again, I'll remind everybody that the online website that you should look for is dccommunityfoundation.org. It's got contact information, phone numbers. If you would like to donate, of course, there's a quick donate option there, as well as instructions on how to mail in a check and to address that properly. Clayton, before we let you go, is there anything else you want to make sure to mention today?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for really 29, almost 30 years of people in our community supporting the work of the Community Foundation, the founders of this Community Foundation, the board members, the committee members, current and past, all of our staff, really, though, the donors in this community who have trusted the name of the Community Foundation. The first gift in 1996 was a $100,000 gift. We're over $100 million now as an organization. And so that takes more than one gift to get to that level. There's been tens of thousands of gifts. And each time there's have to be a decision of, do I trust the work of the Community Foundation, that they'll take care of my dollar and ensure that what I want it to go to will be supported forever. And so we don't take that lightly, and our goal is to be the trusted charitable partner in shaping the future of our community. And that's what we get to do with donors each day. So just want to say thank you for those that trust us, those that have continued to say yes to support us, and the generosity. I ask that if you don't know about the Community Foundation and want to find out more, I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. Also just say, in the time that it is, Merry Christmas to everyone listening or viewing this. Merry Christmas to you and your families, and Happy New Year, and God bless.
Most certainly. And of course, congratulations on almost 30 years. We look forward to celebrating that milestone with you guys as well into the next year.
Yeah, no, we'll come back in 26 and we'll celebrate together.
Fantastic. Clayton, thank you so much for coming in and giving us a rundown on the Dubois County Community Foundation. And again, happy holidays. Fantastic. This has been your In.form here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS with the Dubois County Community Foundation.
This has been In.form on WBDC and 18 WJTS. Catch past episodes on our social media pages and our websites. If it matters to you, it matters to us. In.form.